So last week, I told you guys about how South Africans disgraced their president, Jacob Zuma. They booed the guy during Mandela's memorial service. Well, this week, it was the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, who was disgraced by Cameroonians during his visit to France. Take a look.
Monsieur Biya, libérez-nous, mais yo, monsieur.
Monsieur Biya, libérez-nous.
La dictature.
Monsieur Biya,
J'entends de dictature, ça suffit.
Libérez-nous.
S'il
vous plaît, libérez-nous. Les Camerounais sont... Monsieur Biya, Monsieur Biya, libérez le peuple camerounais.
That's what I'm talking about. As you can see, Africans are starting to stand up against rulers that do not care about their people. By the way, a lot of people are telling me that Cameroon is relatively peaceful. Oh, Adiola, we are not at war, so yes, we don't have any problem. I said, but is it really peaceful? Or people have learned not to question Mr. Biya? I mean, you have a president that has been in power for the past 31 years. He keeps changing your constitution. And in 2011, he removed presidential term limit completely, which means that he can be president for as long as he wants. And you call that peaceful? How is that peaceful? Nobody can protest without being arrested. I mean, I remember that in February of 2008, when people were protesting that he needs to step down, I remember that about 139 people were killed in that protest by his security forces. As a matter of fact, some human rights groups said it was hundreds of young Cameroonians that were killed by Biya security forces. I mean, how is that peaceful if you protest and you get killed? One man has total legislative and executive powers, and for a long time the country had only one party, and now he's holding elections just to fulfill all righteousness, because we all know that he wins every election by rigging. How is that peaceful? The Cameroonian economy has been stagnant for so long, even with all the natural resources that Cameroon has, like oil. Yes, Cameroon has oil. When was the last time that you heard of a new development happening in Cameroon? I mean, all we see now are several uncompleted projects that were started during election times. Journalists are now being detained for their attempts at speaking out, and several opposition members have been put in prison. Recently, the man ordered that they should close down churches, claiming that churches are too loud. Meanwhile, we know that it's because some pastors were criticizing his government. And you call that peaceful? How is that peaceful? I don't understand. By the way, how come Nigerian churches and mosques, they don't address corruption on their pulpits? I don't understand that. Some pastors would say that you don't concern yourselves with politics. I said, hey, something that is affecting your everyday life? What do you mean you don't concern yourself with politics? Where did you find that in the Bible? So many prophets in the Bible addressed corrupt leaders of their time. They confronted them. Yes, they would tell them, thus says the Lord, if you don't change your way, you will die. And those people died. We need such prophets in Nigeria. I keep telling myself, if only religious leaders in Nigeria will start speaking out against all these atrocities, so many evils would have been averted. Because politicians know, they know that religious leaders have great authority among the people. Why does it have to be that it is only when Boko Haram kill your church members that you will speak out against Boko Haram and everything that is going on? Can I be honest with you? Pastors and imams not speaking out against what is going on is actually a way of encouraging it and letting it fester. But back to what I was saying. For the past 31 years, Biya has not invested in the health sector of Cameroon or the education sector, and several infrastructures are shadows of what they used to be. And you know, lack of good hospitals and constant strike alone has caused so many deaths in Cameroon. So many deaths. You know, he gets his own treatment abroad, right? In fact, Biya and his wife spend about 10 months in a year in France on vacation. Remember in 2009 that it was leaked that this man was spending about $40,000 every night at the hotel where he was staying in France. 40,000. This was 2009. Or do you know how much he will be spending out of your money, Cameroonians? According to foreignpolicy.com, his net worth starts from $200 million. It's between $200 and $300 million. Meanwhile, the minimum wage in Cameroon is $58 per month. 58. What can $58 buy? So please stop telling me that Cameroon is peaceful just because the people have learned to keep quiet, while this man and his madam continue to spend taxpayers' money to buy wigs. You get what I'm saying? Heavy wigs, 10 pounds. The one or this one on my head alone feels heavy. This is like ×4 of what is on my head. By the way, this is my hair. It grew overnight. But this one, Madam, there's nothing like moderation in this woman's dictionary. No, seriously. Honestly, I miss their former first lady. You know, his former wife. Kai, such a peace-loving woman who wanted the best of all the people of Cameroon. She refused to support her husband's policies. Remember? Mama Irene, may her soul rest in peace. Very beautiful and moderate. And up till now, no one knows exactly how she died. You know, President ordered her burial like quick. You know, he didn't even allow any investigations. He didn't allow any investigations. And Cameroonians are still asking the question, who killed Mama Irene? Me, I'm not saying anything. But to be honest, I've realized that sometimes you have to get out of your country and see how life is elsewhere before you can know what you're missing. And which is why I really commend those Cameroonians in Paris who disgraced Mr. Biya. You get what I'm saying? Kudos to you guys. Good job. Someday Cameroon will be liberated from this family. And guess what? I'm just keeping it real.